Welcome to the Four Listeners Program. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. On the mics this week, we have the Z-Man. What's up, Z?
Wild thing. You make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Yeah.
Winning.
And on the other mic, we have the illustrious Corey G. What is up, sir?
Hey, buddy.
What's going on?
Just helping my wife clean up some baby puke.
That sounds awesome.
Yep.
What up, everybody? What up, everybody? I'm Spear. This week...
Because I'm me.
That's right, Charlie. Because you're you. This week, something must be done about Charlie Sheen. This is going to be part of a two-part expose wherein the Four Listeners House of Celebrity Consulting. That's right, the Four Listeners House of Celebrity Consulting comes in to correct the mess that is Charlie Sheen. This week, we're going to focus on the man, the myth, the legend himself. And then next week, we'll get into, oh God, why does everyone want to put him on the front page of everything? And the answer is because he is...
winning.
This is going to be a bad radio show, a morning radio show commercial here.
Doesn't matter. Dude, I got a soundboard. I'm going to have some fun with it.
All right.
Why?
Because I'm me. I'm by winning.
That's right.
I want to hurt you so bad right now.
You want to kill me?
No, not kill you. I just want to hurt you.
Yeah, you can't kill me. Want to know why?
Dying's for fools.
Thank you, Charlie.
I don't think you can do this.
Can't is the cancer of happen.
That's right.
It's like a virgin in a whorehouse.
No, you can't stop me, dude.
I got tiger blood, man.
That's right.
I'm by winning.
Okay.
All right, we'll make a rule. You can't use the same clip more than once.
Winning.
No.
Okay. First, I have to say something. I was told months ago by a friend of mine, Lynn, who's a loyal listener of the show, that we should do a Charlie Sheen show. And I said at the time, no.
This is pre-crazy.
This is pre-crazy, right? I mean, this is when he was still when cars were still, mysteriously disappearing. This is when he was still, banging porn stars, two at a time down the hallway from his kids. And it was just like, you know what? Later for that. But I got to say, I'm sorry. We should have done this show a long time ago. Now it just feels like we're piling on. But
When in Rome.
When in Rome, right? I mean, the guy has completely gone off the reservation. I mean, he's gone from being the highest paid television star to
being fired.
I mean, as we're sitting here recording right now, word has just gotten out that he got fired from 2.5 Men. And I mean, for 8 seasons or so, it was the highest rated comedy on television. He was the highest paid actor on television. He had it all going on. And then he completely went off the reservation. And I'm at the point with this where he's either doing one of these Andy Kaufman, Joaquin Phoenix type of performance art pieces, or he is completely insane.
He's insane. Nobody's that good.
I can't disagree. I mean, if he was putting on a show, his kids would not have been taken away from him.
He can't be putting on a show and be the highest paid actor. This is just career suicide. There's no way that a publicist would have approved this.
No, in fact, his publicist quit. Right after.
That's true.
Right after his longtime publicist quit on him, right after he did the 2020 interview. And it's, by the way, right after the 2020 interview when the cops showed up at his house, with his at the behest of his estranged wife to go get the kids and take them into custody.
It's like David Hasselhoff all over again.
Dude, it's like David Hasselhoff to the nth degree. I mean, David Hasselhoff was just on the floor crying about a cheeseburger. This guy went on tour to different radio shows, to different TV shows, basically throwing the producer of 2.5 Men, Chuck Lorre, under the bus. At one point, he called him Chaim Levine, and he was pulling a page from Mel Gibson's playbook there, where he was making all kinds of anti-Semitic remarks, and we all know. I mean, Charlie, if you've been watching the news at all, you knew that the Mel Gibson anti-Semite thing didn't go down so good in Hollywood, brah.
It's because the Jews control it.
Well,
That's
right. But I mean, even so, I mean, it's just it didn't work out for our boy Mel. You know, Mel has now been blacklisted. He's been put on the do not work with list. And now it happened to you there, Chuckles. You've gone from being a top of the line television actor to a running joke.
Did you just call him top of the line?
He was.
He was, unfortunately.
Come on.
I mean, for what he was doing. But here's the interesting bit about it, though. I mean, on 2.5 Men, Charlie was basically playing a PG-13 version of himself, right? So the whole show was kind of written around the fact that Charlie Sheen is a bad boy, and his character on the show, whose name happens to be Charlie, is kind of a bad boy. He's a womanizer. He's an alcoholic. It's just basically a dumbed down version of Charlie's actual life.
Did anyone watch that thing?
I mean, I'd watch it in reruns. Right?
Yeah, I've never seen an episode.
I've seen it in reruns, and it's funny. It's funny because behind every joke there is a little bit of truth, right? A good comedian will tell you that in every joke there is a little bit of truth, and that's what made 2.5 Men funny. It made it somewhat endearing because you're watching Charlie play a version of himself that is somewhat softened, and then he had this kind of like good guy Charlie kind of thing going on, and then you have these kinds of stories where he tears apart a room in the plaza with two porn stars with his kids down the hall, and then there's no remorse for it. There's just Charlie's ramblings of
I get tiger blood, man.
I mean, it's the tiger blood.
The market for tiger blood has gone up crazy
it's
now.
ridiculous. I mean, the tiger blood, the Vatican Assassin, the Warlock magic thing. What?
Winning.
Yeah, I mean,
Everything's winning right now.
Everything's winning right now. He is now the Guinness World Record holder for fastest Twitter followers or something along those lines. He amassed 1.3 million followers faster than anybody had ever done it before. And now he's up above 2 million followers on Twitter.
That just gave me an idea for a new show.
What's that?
Something must be done about the Guinness Book of World Records.
There you go.
The fact that there's a world record for the fastest to reach whatever number of Twitter followers is horrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've established that it's not an act, right? I think we all agree on that. It's not an act.
It's my opinion that it is not an act.
All right. So if it's not an act, then his latest tour, for me, if we're not watching an act, we're watching an incredible plea for help. And at some point, he is going to die. He is going to die. He is so mental at this point that it is just a matter of time before something happens to him.
Well, just think about. I totally agree with you that it's a call for help. Just look at all the, with that kind of money, you wouldn't be able to be, friends with people or trust people, especially women. How are you going to meet somebody and settle down and marry her and not worry about her just doing it for the money?
But he's married twice, right? Or 3 times or 4. I don't know. He's married a bunch of times at this point. I mean, he just doesn't. At one point, he threatened his last wife. He threatened to cut off her head and mail it back to her or something like that. I mean,
so whose responsibility is he?
Who's responsible?
Nobody wants to take ownership of this.
Yeah, actually, Martin Sheen and whatever the woman's name is wanted to get a what's the word?
Intervention?
No, custodianship or something over him to throw him into rehab.
Power of attorney?
But But what do
power
you
of
do with
attorney,
it?
but yeah.
What do you do with him at that point?
You lock him in rehab, and I'm talking like real rehab,
Dude,
like
rehab is not
train
gonna help
spotting
this guy.
rehab.
Rehab is not going to help this guy. This guy needs serious psychotherapy. He needs to be not even. I don't even think psychotherapy. I think this guy. I think he just gets locked in the funny farm, right?
Well, you need rehab to get off the drugs, and then you can start the therapy.
He's saying he's off the drugs. If you
Do you believe him?
If you
Yes,
assume that
maybe,
he's
Yarn.
off the drugs, right? If you assume that he's off the drugs, then he is past the point of no return mentally. Maybe he's just fried. Maybe all the drugs that he's taken. I mean, he's made statements to the fact that he's done more drugs than any human can possibly can possibly handle. I mean, he's made this statement.
I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed. I have one gear. Go.
I don't even know what 7-gram rocks means, but it sounds like a lot.
I don't know if it's a lot or not.
Is he trying to get the Guinness Book of World Records for that too?
I guess.
The largest rock smoked.
The largest rock smoked, yeah. Right. I mean, but then he turns around and he's like, I don't need rehab. I set up the Sober Valley Lodge at my house, and then
And I blinked and I cured my brain.
he blinked and he cured his brain.
So I haven't. hit
How
that
long
one
did
before.
you spend planning this, Chris?
I haven't been planning anything, man. We're talking about it. It's just coming naturally. I'm just
Winning.
I'm just winning, man.
You have to
I
have
got
a
tiger
script
blood,
there.
man.
You scripted your first 20 plays
I
in this podcast.
I did not. I'm just
Winning.
winning.
You're like goddamn Andy Reid over there.
I'm not. I didn't plan any of that out. It just came natural.
I don't believe you. Nobody's that good.
If I could get Charlie Sheen to say "fuck your mom," I'd have that playing right now.
Dude, you should write him an email. I bet he'd do it for you.
They would.
My point is this: I think he's gotten to the point where I don't think rehab helps him. I think it's time for the funny farm, because I think when you watch these videos, we're gonna come back and we're gonna watch this stuff, and it's gonna be like, we could have gotten in the way. We could have stopped this. I mean, you have to watch some of the stuff that he has on Ustream. I mean, it is beyond the point where it's sad. I mean, some of it's, you could look at it and consider it's funny, but if you see the look on his face, the dullness in his eyes, I mean, it's sad. It really is.
I thought you were leading up to putting him down like a family pet.
Dying's for fools.
Not putting him in the funny farm.
Dying's for fools.
But I agree with you. After doing that much drugs, it's like huffing paint.
Yeah.
How many functioning brain cells can there be left?
Yeah. I mean, and what's kind of sad about it, I mean, is it turns into like the John Belushi, the John Belushi Michael Jackson type of deal, right? Where here's a guy who is at the top of his game. And whether you saw the show or not, whether you liked it or not, I mean, there were people who did. There were people that found this guy funny, right? Same thing with like Belushi. Belushi was a guy that was, that partied, that just nonstop partied. I mean, he was renowned for how hard he could party, and then it eventually just caught up to him and ended up eventually killing him. It's the same kind of deal.
You got Farley, Chris Farley.
Didn't he have a heart attack?
Yeah, but I'm sure the drugs didn't help.
He did drugs? I thought he was just fat.
That dude
No,
partied.
there were drugs in there too. Yeah, he was a hard partier too. You had Farley in there. You had Corey Haim, right? Who
He was
never
right.
quite.
You could see his brain was 30 IQ points short of average.
Right, but I mean, it was, here was a guy who had the world handed to him, couldn't handle it. Sounds a lot like Charlie. Had the world handed to him, couldn't handle it, and then basically just, went on a slow roll into obscurity and then finally death. Another guy, Elvis. Elvis was the king of rock and roll, man. And then couldn't handle it, ended up dead on a toilet. I mean, kind of.
If you subscribe to that theory.
All right. This is what we're talking about. I mean, we're talking about these guys or these people, like even Anna Nicole Smith, But I think she was just Anna Nicole Smith was the same kind of thing with Charlie, where you watched her slowly die. You watched her slowly die bit by bit on her show, and then it got to the point where it was sad to watch. It was depressing to watch it. And I think that's kind of where we're at now with Charlie. It's just sad to watch. It's sad to watch this guy unravel. You know what the worst part about it is that, this gets back to what do you do with the money? He's got all he has surrounding him is just this crew of sycophants. Nobody's helping this guy. They're just kind of enabling him to just be as crazy as he can be.
Yeah.
Right? He's got the 2 porn stars living with him, and then if you watched any of that the Ustream thing, he's just got a crew of sycophants around him. There's nobody there to say, "Stop, Charlie. You're crazy. You're running wild." There's no support.
I agree with
There's
you.
no support. You know what he needs? He needs
to hire us.
He needs Kit.
What?
Right?
Like we brought up in the other episode.
He needs Kit.
How is Kit going to help him?
Because he would get into Kit. Kit would lock the doors and take him to the appropriate place. Right? This was part of the services that we were going to provide in the For Listeners House of Celebrity Consulting.
Kit was going to be like the opposite of Bad Idea Jeans.
Right. Either that, or he needs an idea caddy or something along those lines. Right? It's like, I guess it's the cousin to the whore caddy. He needs the guy who's basically going to say, "That's a good idea, Charlie. That's a bad idea, Charlie."
No, see, you know what? He needs to come to For Listeners Celebrity Rehab, where we'll have a bunch of caterpillars, and we'll take him out, digging shit up and everything.
Which kind of caterpillars are we talking about?
Well, let's just make it clear this time, right? We're talking about the vehicles.
The
All
construction
right.
machinery. Show him what type of real fun can be had with Mark Zuckerberg's billions.
There we go.
That,
So,
ladies
Charlie,
and gentlemen, is called a callback. Make sure you go back and listen to our show about Mark Zuckerberg's billions.
See, we charge a modest fee, maybe $100,000. We tell Charlie what he needs to do with his money to get him real joy and satisfaction in life, and then he's cured.
He's cured.
Sounds like a plan.
I like this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
All right.
Charlie Sheen, if you're listening, give us a call.
Or check us out on our Facebook page at facebook.com/4listeners or 4listeners.com. And you know what you could do, Chuckles? You could check us out on the iTunes. You could search for 4 Listeners, and we'll pop up. I think it's important that he does this.
I agree.
I think there's a lot that Charlie can learn.
If nothing else, we can give him some new catchphrases.
Absolutely.
He can start using farming babies.
Yes. I want that to trend on Twitter instead of
Winning.
Farm and Baby should trend on Twitter. Take your 2 million followers, Charlie, and start trending Farm and Babies. That's what we need.
I like Fuck Your Mom better.
Fuck your mom. That's what we need.
Fuck Your Bomb is probably more marketable.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Next week we stay tuned for the second part of this, wherein we take the press and the media to task for their enablement of Charlie. It's not just his crew, his sycophantic crew that enables Charlie. It's all the press that he gets. So stay tuned for that. We're coming back with that next week.
Yeah, because Charlie just didn't become crazy. Charlie's been crazy. He just now is being promoted for being crazy.
Exactly. We're going to cover that next week. But we appreciate you guys listening to us this week, and we hope you'll check us out next week. Thanks a bunch, everybody.
Shut up. Stop. Move forward.
I hate this fucking song.